get me a phone. My phone. Go get my phone. Oh, there's someone. All right, guys. Robbie out front. Hector in the
4
two.
minutes left. The top drivers are Robbie Esplana, Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, and Greg Poole.
Robbie driving that new TC8 with that new Zoo Racing body on it. All right, guys, 130 in, 330 to go.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Robbie Esplana, Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, and Greg Poole.
Oh. All right, guys, 2:45 left to go. Robbie out front. Let's look at some fast laps. Robbie with a 10.6. Hector with a 11.3. Yeah, you're up next. 10% off prepaid special orders, George. I can throw in a speed control on there, too.
2 minutes left. The top drivers are Robbie Esplana, Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, and Greg Poole.
Corey Bosworth. We are live.
All right, guys, Robbie out front. Hector in the two. 130 left to go. All right, Fortec Spec. You guys are up next.
After 4 minutes, the top drivers are Robbie Esplana, Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, and Greg Poole.
All right, Robbie out front. Hector in the two. Robbie, oh, man, what's up with your car's getting hot all the time? You didn't turn off that thermal? Yeah, you got to turn that off. Don't need none of that. Sounds like you don't need none of that out there. What's up with that? Yeah. All right, Hector out front. 10 seconds left to go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I can sell you. Is that your second spur gear, Greg? Yeah. Okay, I have one. Robbie has one also, I think. Yeah, that doesn't exist. But
all drivers are finished. Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano done.
All right. Hector's going to take the W and the early TQ. Sometimes all you got to do is finish.
Up
all
next,
right.
Race number 2.
Fortec Spec.
Fortec
7 cars in this one.
Race order is Isaiah Esplana, Nathan Hauser, Pete, the Dominator, St. Lawrence, Rich I Break a Lot Rider, Scott Trentham, Tony Flores, Ellie Bosworth, Rich I Break a Lot Rider. Scott Trantham. Nathan Hauser.
All right, need some marshals out here. If I can get some volunteers, pretty much anybody available.
Ellie Bosworth.
All right. I got Scrappy out here. Thank you, sir. I got Hector out here. Thank you, sir. Oh, hold on. And I got a 5-year-old with a radio out there, so be careful of that. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and shut her down. Straightaway's closed. Straightaway's closed.
Isaiah Esplana.
Go ahead and stop right there, Ellie. Yeah, just line up in order.
Pete,
Tony, you're going to start off
St.
in number
Lawrence.
6.
Tony
There's
Flores.
a number 6 sticker over there. All right, Fortec drivers. We got some new drivers out there. We got some new drivers and a 5-year-old, so it is what it is, you know. Let's do the best you can. Yep. All right. I got marshals. I got drivers. I got a grid. We're going to go. No, hold on. You're going to go on the tone, Ellie Belly. So when you hear the tone, then you go, okay? All right, this is heads up racing, so everybody's going to go on the tone. I got marshals, I got drivers, I got a grid. We're going to go on the tone. All right, here we go.
Tyler McGill. Let go racing, boys.
All right, we got Isaiah out front. Pete
Tyler McGill
in the 2.
and girls.
Nathan in the 3.
top
Where you
drivers
at,
are
Tyler?
Isaiah Esplana,
You need
Pete,
to-
the
you need to bring your
Dominator,
Fortec
St.
out.
Lawrence, and Nathan Hauser.
All right, Isaiah out front. Pete in the 2. Nathan in the 3. Rich in the 4. Tony in the 5. Ellie in the 6. Scott in the 7. All right, guys. Isaiah, Pete, Nathan. That's your top 3. Rich in
Shane
the
Tamey.
4, Tony in the 5, Ellie in
Let's
the
go,
6.
Ellie.
Let's go, Ellie.
After 2 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Isaiah Esplana, Pete, the Dominator, St. Lawrence, and Nathan Hauser.
All right, guys. 2:45 left to go. All right, guys, 2:20 left to go in this one.
After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Isaiah Esplana, Pete, the Dominator, St. Lawrence, and Nathan Hauser. After 4 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Isaiah Esplana, Pete, the Dominator, St. Lawrence, and Nathan Hauser.
All right, 50 seconds left to go. Ooh, we got Scott back out there. All right, 20 seconds left to go in this one.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rich I Break a Lot Rider done. Ellie Bosworth done. Isaiah Esplana done.
All right, Ellie's done. Bring it over here, kiddo.
Pete, the Dominator, St. Lawrence done.
All right,
Scott Trantham
there's
done.
Nathan. Looking
Nathan
for
Hauser
Tony to
done.
finish. Did you finish, Tony? Okay. All right, that's the race. Isaiah's going to take it. Pete in the 2, Nathan in the 3, Rich in the 4, Tony in the 5, Ellie in the 6, Scott in the 7. All right, drivers, go and put your cars up. Come right back out here.
Up
Marshall.
next, race number 3. GT12. Heat 1 of 1. Race order is John Carpenter, George Foy, Rich I Break a Lot Rider, Corey I Ain't Got Time for That Bosworth. George Foy.
All right, GT12. Oh my. GT12. Oh wait, I'm grabbed the wrong car. All right, John, Rich, and Corey.
John Carpenter.
Isaiah, you got your phone on you? Call my phone. Just like me, you need to exercise. All right. There's Corey. Oh, Corey, there's no transponder in there. All right, John's out. Rich, I need you to check in.
Rich, I break a lot rider.
Chris Paul. Have fun tonight, see y'all Sunday.
Yes, sir, Chris. We'll see you for Oval, buddy. Congrats out there for Oval Racing. You want to say hi to Polly?
Hello, Polly.
All right. Let me see why I thermaled. Are you racing, Davey? Oh, okay. All right, go ahead. Check in, Corey. What'd you lose, Rich? Pin or body pin? Here, I got one right here. Here. Come here, grab one. Throw it on your car so we can get going.
Corey, I ain't got time for that, Bosworth.
All righty then. Yes, you can start the race. You want to start the race? Wait, hold on. All right, go ahead. Line her up there, back by Pete, if you already good with your laps. I got John Lee in the way, followed by George, Rich, and Corey. All right, I got John, George, Rich, and Corey. I got John leaving on the tone in less than 5. George, Rich, and Corey. All right, GT12. John, George, Rich, and Corey. John out there with the solid white. George out there in blue and white. Rich in that yellow and green. Corey out there in that solid fluorescent red-orange. All right, John and Corey battling it out along with George. That's all battle for the lead right now. 0.064 and 0.43 separate 3, 2, and 1. Oh, Rich rolls out.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are John Carpenter, Corey I Ain't Got Time for That, Bosworth, and George Foy.
Ooh, heard that. Easy, Rich. Easy, easy, easy. All right, John, Corey, and George still battling it out. Corey, 0.4 right behind John. George, 0.1 right behind Corey. 0.027 separate them. The battle for the lead is on. Hector, are you going to cruise your LMH with us? You want to? Up to you,
After
just to get some laps in. That's up
the
to
top
you.
drivers are George Foy, John Carpenter,
I'll
and
let
Corey
you.
I Ain't Got Time for That, Bosworth.
Ooh, look at that. Look at these two right here. George leading the way. Corey in the 2, John in the 3. George, you got a 21.5 in there, George? Oh, cheater. I- All right, all done.
After 3 minutes left, the top drivers are George Foy, Corey I Ain't Got Time for That, Bosworth, and John Carpenter.
Negative 38. You can go up to 50. Give it a try. Go back out there and give it a try.
After 4 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are George Foy, Corey I Ain't Got Time for That, Bosworth, and John Carpenter.
All right, George and Corey battling it out. Corey 0.6 right behind George. John fell back. What happened, John? Oh, got that back end washout. All right. Nice, easy night of racing. I was sick starting Saturday, going into Sunday.
1 minute 5 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are George Foy, Corey I Ain't Got Time for That, Bosworth, and John Carpenter.
All right, Corey is reeling in George. 0.1. It was 0.2 just on the last lap. See what it is now. Scrappy, you're not racing tonight, Scrappy? Oh, good deal. Oh, yeah, because Mike's not here. Okay. Thank you, sir. You just want out of the house. Okay, I'm just making sure we're on the same page. All right, Corey, George. 0.050 separates them. Corey goes into the lead. George drops down. Oh, George kind of like a hesitant turn there.
10, 9, 8.
All 3 cars out
7,
there. 3 generations
6,
of Eclipses.
5, 4, 3, 2,
All right, keep on
One.
going. Keep on going. What is up next? LMH. Oh my goodness, we're up.
George Foy done.
George done.
John Carpenter done. All
John done
drivers
in the
are
2.
finished.
George takes the lead over
Corey, I ain't
Corey.
got time for
Point
that.
2
Boss Wars
separated
done.
the 2. Goodness gracious. That is a race. Obviously, George is cheating.
Up next, race number 4.
Cheating.
LMH 25.5. Heat 1 of 1. Race order is George Foy, Robbie Esplana, Jeff Harless, David Jones. George Foy.
Dude, how come you didn't put your cheetah print on there? Dude, I saw the stickers in the background. I know. I thought you should have put it on the back.
I know. I was going to.
I was like, dude, he got his cheetah stickers on there.
I know.
All right, you guys ready? Need some marshals out here. Oh, and Davey.
Jeff Harless, Robbie Esplana.
Come here and start us. I got it. You got it, John? Never mind. John's got it.
Are we doing heads up or if Mark? All right, the lineup is George, Robbie, Jeff, and Davey. Only George is going to go on the tone in less than 5. Yeah, I'll run down there. Robbie, Jeff, Davey.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Robbie Esplana, George Foy, and Jeff Harless. After 2 minutes, 3 minutes left, the top drivers are George Foy, Robbie Esplana, and Jeff Harless. After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are George Foy, Robbie Esplana, and Jeff Harless. After 4 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are George Foy, Robbie Esplana, and Jeff Harless. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. George Foy done. Jeff Harless done. All drivers are finished. Robbie Esplana done.
Yeah, my battery died. Oh no, cool. Keep running like that. Yeah, shut up. I know she's hard as hell. Now I gotta get my 13.5 ready. No, that smells hot. Oh, it smells hot. Yeah, you don't go by touch, you go by the smell. Yeah, it does smell hot. That smells fine. Smells like the current GT, that's what it smells like. Oh, this guy. That's not your fright motor, is it? No, this is it's that brand new 25 fright motor. Had residue in that car because when you picked it up, I smelled that fright motor. Yeah, you smelled my fright motor, huh? Yeah. No, 128. That's not bad at all. It just smells stinky. It just. I think when you burnt that, it stained that chassis. It stained my chassis. Heating it up, blowing your gasoline. Let me see how bad this. This battery's dead. Buddy, thank you. I have a pack one of those in my bag. I got plenty of them at home. My radio bag. Yeah. Connect this to your car. Huh? Where's your car? Same day. Put your car up there. Good. I can practice the points. I know which plane this is. No, Ken was here. Yeah. Those are my two rivals. Ken. Ken. Ken and Blaine. Maybe, yeah, Senzo's in that mix too. Senzo got used to this quick. That's why you don't bring yours. I've got one of the little, like, super portable ones that I can run off of. Yeah, I've got one of those too. Yeah, but I didn't want Sal driving by himself with Corey. I need to create some kind of traffic for him. Slow one of them down. I need to slow one of them down. This is Sal's attention. Road racing, because I beat him by default last time. Like, no, that's not how I want to win. You about ready? Yep, Corey, we're up, buddy. No worries.
Sean Johnson. Good day everyone, have a great race.
What's that? Yeah, if you want.
What was up with this, Corey?
Hi, John. I mean, I said, I said an accident. I'm really sorry.
Oh, you're good, Ellie.
I meant Sean Johnson. I'm really sorry.
I had like .05 or .06.
got it.
Up next, race number 5. 13.5 pan car. Heat 1 of 1. Race order is Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio. Corey, I ain't got time for that, Bosworth. Robbie Esplana. Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio.
You don't need the torque rotor, Robbie. I never ran
Corey,
it in
I ain't
mine.
got time for that, Bosworth.
You just got to gear the crap out of it. You good, Sal? Robbie, cross the line again? I'm not getting anything. Did you just not have it in? Oh, okay. You need a minute, Sal? Cool. Got a racer's minute for Sal.
I guess it's my dad, I guess.
Yep.
I guess so.
Go ahead and make 15 laps, Corey. Burn down your battery a little bit.
Mommy, why are you always scaring me, though? No, I don't. I don't really like mac and cheese. I don't know. Well, I like the homemade one.
Do you like chicken nuggets? What's your favorite food?
Chicken nuggets, mac and cheese,
Robbie Esplana.
dino nuggets.
Oh, yeah, you like dino nuggets? Yeah.
You know what dino nuggets?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like a chicken nugget.
But it's in the shape of a dinosaur. Yep.
And some candies. And some pizza.
You like pizza?
And hot dog.
Do you like spaghetti?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're really good.
What about tacos? Do you like No? Huh.
I did not.
Sal's out there running those 44 millimeters. It's the beginning of the night. They'll wear down. They'll be about 42.5 by the main. All right, we're going to have Sal go on the tone, Corey, and then Robbie. I'll call you guys off. I'm going to get you guys spaced out. That's the Sal lollipop right there. You guys are forgetting. He launched it. All right, we're going racing on the tone. Corey. Robbie. Corey's having some spin out issues. Watch the lollipop. It happened after you said it wasn't going to. Everybody's spinning out. Give you guys a minute here to sort things out. No.
After 1 minute, the top drivers are Robbie Esplana, Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio, and Corey. I ain't got time for that, Bosworth.
Everybody's within 0.8 of each other. Now 0.6. Sal to the 1. Now Corey to the 1. Within 0.2 of a second of everybody. These guys are all battling it out. Keep it clean out there. Fast laps are Robbie with a 9.9, Corey with a 9.8, Sal with a 9.6. No, there's a new one? Is there a new one? Yeah. Yeah, no, I haven't seen it. I've seen the old one though. Uh-huh. Oh, it's good? Yeah. Oh, yeah?
After 2 minutes, the top
That's
drivers are
good.
Corey. I ain't got time for that, Bosworth,
Oh, well.
Robbie Esplana, and Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio.
Sal, did you lose a lap or you have a real bad one? Okay. Oh, okay, okay. Robbie's 3.3 back from Corey. Make that 3.5. Sal's got the hot lap, though.
After 3 minutes left, the top drivers are Corey. I ain't got time for that, Bosworth, Robbie Esplana, and Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio.
Watch the straightaway. Watch the straightaway. Go to the outside. Clear. Slick track out here tonight. You think it's tweaked or what?
After 4 minutes left, the top drivers are Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio, Robbie Esplana, and Corey. I ain't got time for that, Bosworth.
Next Thursday, we're going to need everybody in this class to put a 3.5 in it, step it up to mod. These will be the slow cars.
After 5 minutes, the top drivers are Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio, Robbie Esplana, and Corey. I ain't got time for that, Bosworth.
Two minutes and 30 seconds.
After 6 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio, Robbie Esplana, and Corey. I ain't got time for that, Bosworth.
Have you ever seen the Fast and the Furious? It's a car racing movie. That's probably my favorite one. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. And then my favorite kid movie, Toy Story.
I watched that before.
Uh-huh.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, I like that one.
I guess it's always Sal.
Uh-huh.
I guess it's probably Sal. I guess and my dad's Sal.
It's looking better now, Sal.
1 minute 7 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio, Robbie Esplana, and Corey. I ain't got time for that, Bosworth.
Sean Johnson. Just wait for the Brad Pitt F1 movie.
John, I have a great person. I mean, a question. Who is your favorite person?
My wife.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio done. All drivers are finished. Robbie Esplana done.
All right, doing a quick resort. We'll get going in about 15 minutes.
Up next, race number 1. 21.5 Touring. Heat 1 of 1. Race order is
Hey, Corey, how do I
Hector, Sir Whips a lot, Lozano, Robbie Esplana, Greg Poole.
Disregard. Oh, I need to go back to the races. Report setup. Hold up. I'll go back to setup. Oh, never mind. I got it. I got it now. Setup.
Greg Poole.
Corey fixes. I know, Corey, you're running all over the place. Can you fix that real quick? What's that? I put it. I didn't put fastest lap in.
Did it work?
Yeah, I didn't put fastest lap in. Sliding out a little bit, but that's all right.
All right, guys. Hector, Robbie, Greg. Let me do a lap.
Greg Poole.
Like as soon as after this race, when you go to your pits, sauce them right away.
Okay.
And the front only sauce half.
Okay. Inside or outside?
Inside.
Okay.
That'll
easier for you.
All right, race number 1. Just need Robbie out here.
Hector, Sir Whips-a-Lot, Lozano.
I put it down. I dropped down to a 47. So I had a 47 pinion to a 92. I thought I was matching Greg's because he had a 96. I thought I had a 96. Mine's 92. So I was like, yeah. So I was like, nope. Because I was thinking of my Schumacher.
Because that's what I ran, 47.96.
47.96. I'm running 47.92.
Yeah. It shouldn't overheat. You got a fan on there, right?
Yeah.
I doubt it'll overheat.
Oh, my thermal was, like I said.
Yeah, yeah.
Robbie Esplana.
All right, guys. Can I get some marshals out here? It's race
Up
time.
next, race number 1. 21.5 Touring. Heat 1 of 1. Race order is
All right, I got Sal out here.
Hector,
Need another
Sir
marshal on the
Whips-a-Lot,
far end.
Lozano. Robbie Esplana. Greg Poole.
There's still a main. All right, need a marshal on the far. Thank you, George. Somewhere in the middle there. All right, guys, let's go ahead and line them up on the back straightaway there. Hector and only Hector on the sound of the tone. Everybody else wait till I call your name. Hector, less than 5. Robbie. Greg. All right, everybody's on the clock.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Robbie Esplana, Hector, Sir Whips-a-Lot, Lozano, and Greg Poole. After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Robbie Esplana, Hector, Sir Whips-a-Lot, Lozano, and Greg Poole.
Bound to happen. That might be a night for me, Corey. I don't know, man. That might be. I just can't get along with this thing, can you?
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Robbie Esplana, Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, and Greg Poole. After 4 minutes, the top drivers are Robbie Esplana, Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, and Greg Poole.
All right, guys. Robbie out front. Hector in the 2. Greg in the 3.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Robbie Esplana done. All drivers are finished. Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano done.
It's Charles. What up, Charles?
What's up, buddy? Yes.
All right, guys. Robbie's going to take it. Hector in the 2. Greg in the 3.
Up next, race number 2. Spec 4 Tech Heat 1 of 1. Race order is Isaiah Esplana, Pete, the Dominator, St. Lawrence, Nathan Hauser, Rich I Break a Lot Rider, Tony Flores, Ellie Bosworth, Scott Trentham. Scott Trentham. Isaiah Esplana. Pete, the Dominator, St. Lawrence. Tony Flores.
Linkless 10 mm. Go Ellie.
Ellie Bosworth.
All right. Need Nathan to check
Nathan
in
Hauser.
and Rich.
Rich I Break a Lot Rider.
All right, guys. Ellie, you got to go back. There you go. All right. I got marshals. I got drivers. All right, hold on. All right, we're going to go on the tone. All right, get 'em on. Oh, right here, Robbie. All right, Isaiah out front. Pete in the 2. Nathan in the 3. Scott in the 4. Rich in the 5. Rich right behind Scott.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Isaiah Esplana, Nathan Hauser, and Pete, the Dominator, St. Lawrence.
All right, guys. Isaiah lead them around. Pete 10.5 back. Nathan only 3.4 behind Pete. Scott only 1.4 behind Nathan.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Isaiah Esplana, Pete, the Dominator, St. Lawrence, and Nathan Hauser.
All right, 2:30 in, 2:30 to go.
2
After
minutes
3
minutes
left.
1 second. The top drivers are Isaiah Esplana, Pete, the Dominator, St. Lawrence, and Nathan Hauser.
All right, Isaiah out front. Pete in the 2. Nathan in the 3. Nathan's still only 4.1 behind Pete. Scott in the 4. Rich in the 5. Tony in the 6. Ellie in the 7.
One minute
After
left.
4
minutes 1 second. The top drivers are Isaiah Esplana, Pete, the Dominator, St. Lawrence, and Nathan Hauser.
All right, drivers, 10 seconds left to go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pete, the Dominator, St. Lawrence done. Scott Trantham done. Nathan Hauser done. Isaiah Esplana done.
All right, looking for Rich, Tony, and Ellie. Here's Ellie.
All drivers are finished.
All right, Isaiah's going to take the
Bosworth
W.
done.
Pete finishes in the 2. Scott in the 3. Rich in the 4. Ellie in the 6. Tony in the 7. All right, go ahead and put your cars up. Drivers,
Up
come
next,
back out
race
here to
number
Marshall.
3. GT12. Heat 1 of 1. Race order is George Foy. Corey, I ain't got time for that, Bosworth. John Carpenter. Rich, I break a lot rider. John Carpenter.
Ellie, good job, Ellie. You did good. Getting better and better. All right, George, Corey, John, and Rich. How you doing out there, Nate? You all right? Chilling? Pretty cool night of racing? Chillaxed? I like mellow. Yeah, I like the mellow. Sometimes it gets busy, and when it gets busy, oh, it gets busy. Isaiah, walk the track. Make sure the track is good. Charles grabbing all his RC stuff. Yeah, he's on. Flash you! Who was that, Hector? Oh, that AC up here, Corey, feels great. Oh my goodness. Why? What's up?
George Foy.
Oh, shoot. Let me add you, my friend. Huh? I threw him back right over there.
Rich I break a lot rider.
All right, hold on, Scott. Let me add you. Switch. Move driver to race. No. Hold on. Driver. Okay, okay. Oh, no.
Rich I break a lot rider.
All right, Scott, go ahead. Check in, Scott. One more time. Gotcha. Chee-chee.
Scott Trantham.
All right. Lower down the BMC, BSC. Down to 6.4. 6.5. Confirm. Smart fan enabled. Auto fan remote off. And motor thermal. Smart fan. Yes, sir.
Corey I ain't got time for that, Bosworth.
Nah, dude, you got Eclipse. You're not cheap out on that one. Where's George at? George, I need to check in, and John check in. John and George, you two right there, sitting together, hanging out at a car meet.
John Carpenter.
All right, go
George
ahead, line
Foy.
her up in the back if you guys are done. Straightaway is closed. Straightaway is closed. George, Corey, John, Rich, and Scott. All right. George leading the way, followed by Corey, followed by John, Rich, and then Scott. I got George and only George leaving on the tone. Isaiah, get off the end of the track like that. Your butt's hanging off. Get over to the end. All right. I got George leaving on the tone in less than 5. Corey, John, Rich, Scott. Scott got added to the race. Davies coming in on the next race. Ooh, throw him on the inside. Throw him on the inside. There you go. All right, George looking to reset TQ illegally. John in the 2, Corey in the 3.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are John Carpenter, George Foy, and Corey I ain't got time for that, Bosworth.
All right, John, George, and Corey still battling out for the lead, the top three. John out there with a 12.0 leading the way. George in the 2 with a 12.016. Corey with 11.859. He has the hot lap. Scott with a 13.5. Rich with a 16.3. Top three looking and faster than the previous TQ. George out there on pace, 36.02. John, 36.03. Corey, 36.04. George is still leading the way.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are George Foy, Corey I ain't got time for that, Bosworth, and John Carpenter.
All right, Corey, George, and John.
After 3 minutes left, the top drivers are Corey I ain't got time for that, Bosworth, John Carpenter, and George Foy.
All right, 2 minutes to go. Corey leading the way.
After 4 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Corey I ain't got time for that, Bosworth, John Carpenter, and George Foy.
.130 to go, 130 to go.
After 5 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Corey I ain't got time for that, Bosworth, John Carpenter, and George Foy.
All right, 45 seconds. Ten seconds.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. George Foy done. Corey, I ain't got time for that. Bosworth done. John Carpenter done. Scott Trantham done. All drivers are finished. Rich I break a lot rider done.
All right, that's a rate. Corey resets TQ. John in the 2, George in the 3, Scott in the 4, Rich in the 5. Corey at 11.859, 36.04 was the pace. George previous on TQ, 36.05, 10th of a second. Oh, is that what happened?
Up next, race number 4. LMH 25.5. Heat 1 of 1. Race order is George Foy, Robbie Esplana, Jeff Harless, David Jones.
I'm saucing mine twice. Like I sauced them once, let it soak in, and then I'll sauce them again. I don't think it feels that bad. It feels like your servo is going bad though. I can feel that.
I saw one sitting in the front street too. So everybody knows my GT12 is legal. It's got the USGT motor in it.
Robbie Esplana.
Kurt Bonilla. Sign of the horns, sign of the horns, sign of the horns.
George Foy, Jeff Harless. David Jones.
All right. You need one more, Davey? All right, guys. I need Marshall on my end. Need some Marshalls in general. Someone in the middle. There we go. Got Tony out there. All right, guys. I got marshals. I got drivers. George and only George on the sound of the tone. Everybody else wait till they call your name. George, less than 5. Robbie. Jeff. The legendary Davy Jones. Robbie out front with that new body. Did you guys coordinate color schemes on these bodies? Because Robbie and George look exactly the same from up here. Ish. Pretty much if you see a blue car, give them some room.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Robbie Esplana, George Foy, and Jeff Harless.
All right, Robbie out front, George in the 2, Jeff in the 3.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Robbie Esplana, George Foy, and Jeff Harless.
All right, George lead them around. Blue and white. Robbie in the 2, 2.4 back. Jeff, Robbie taps. Jeff in the 3, Jeff 19 seconds back. Davy Jones in the 4. You saucing your tires, Davy? Oh.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are George Foy, Robbie Esplana, and Jeff Harless.
Robbie slams into the back of Jeff. Yeah. This one wasn't really intended to be budget. Anything touring car is not budget.
After 4 minutes, the top drivers are George Foy, Robbie Esplana, and Jeff Harless.
It will not. All right, 40 seconds left to go. Davey's got body tuck. Scott will get it. There we go. There we go. All right, George out front. Robbie 4.5 back.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. George Foy done. David Jones done.
Here comes Robbie and Jeff. That's a race.
Robbie Esplana done.
All right, George is going
drivers
to
are
take it
finished.
and reset TQ.
Jeff Harless done.
Robbie finishes in the 2, Jeff in the 3, Davy Jones
Up
in the
next,
4.
race number 5. 13.5 pan car. Heat 1 of 1. Race order is Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio. Robbie Esplana. Corey, I ain't got time for that, Bosworth.
John, you mind doing this one?
Oh, I got it. So I guess probably like 190. What's that? Your motor, which I don't think is too hot because it had been sitting for a second, you know.
Corey, I ain't got time for that, Bosworth. Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio.
Still rubbing a little.
Daddy, is something wrong? No. John, do you know that? Do you know Shane Cammy?
Mm-mm.
It's like my uncle. It's my uncle.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where it does. I don't know where it does. Mm-mm.
Robbie Esplana.
You guys ready? You ready, Robbie? Cool. We got Sal on the tone, Robbie next, and then Corey third. Going racing in less than 5. Robbie, Corey, sorry, I was waiting for the marshal to get out there. You guys are still pretty spread out. I'm good. Thank you, Ellie. Everybody having a considerably better run than last one. Corey throws down a 9.3, Sal a 9.5, Robbie a 9.6.
After 1 minute, the top drivers are Corey I Ain't Got Time for That, Bosworth, Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio, and Robbie Esplana.
Don't let him get away, Robbie. You're keeping right up.
You like Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets?
Mhm.
They're so tasty.
Everybody going much faster this run.
That meat.
Robbie and Sal are battling it out. You need about 2 more teeth, Robbie.
After 2 minutes, the top drivers are Corey I Ain't Got Time for That, Bosworth, Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio, and Robbie Esplana. After 3 minutes left, the top drivers are Corey I Ain't Got Time for That, Bosworth, Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio, and Robbie Esplana.
Sal's 3.5 back from Corey. Robbie's 2.6 back from Sal.
I am going to send that the ketchup is the icing for the chicken nuggets. Like the cinnamon. Let me try the cinnamon. They're so tasty.
Sal drops that gap to 3.3 behind Corey.
After 4 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Corey I Ain't Got Time for That, Bosworth, Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio, and Robbie Esplana.
Now a 4-second gap. Robbie's 5.7 behind Sal. Sal's 3.4 behind Corey. Robbie's 6.9 back. Lap times are starting to drop off a little bit. Robbie's in the 10s. Sal and Corey are still in the 9.9 and 9.8.
3 minutes 5 minutes 1 second, The top drivers are Corey I Ain't Got Time for That, Bosworth, Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio, and Robbie Esplana.
Two minutes and 20 seconds to go. Sal's 2.8 behind Corey. He's making progress. That lollipop giving everybody problems tonight.
2 minutes After 6 minutes 1 second. The top drivers are Corey I Ain't Got Time for That, Bosworth, Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio, and Robbie Esplana.
Everybody's spinning out there. We don't have enough foam tire
1 minute after
classes
7 minutes
running
1
tonight
second.
to
The top
really
drivers
bring
are
up
Corey
the
I Ain't Got
traction.
Time for That, Bosworth, Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio, and Robbie Esplana.
.40 seconds to go.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio done. All drivers are finished. Corey I Ain't Got Time for That, Bosworth done. Robbie Esplana done.
What motor are you running? What motor are you running?
R1, stupid.
Oh, okay.
R1s are chump nowadays.
Yeah, they are. They were cool back then.
They're cool.
But that was my best slap I've ever done.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not bad, Robbie. You're like 3/10 off.
3/10 off, and then
Your fall off is horrible.
the fall off
Yeah.
on the 130C battery.
Yeah.
Go to push. Go to push.
Is it one of these? The Coyotes?
No, I'm gonna give you a coyote. There's one right down my skillet, I think. When he's not looking.
You think that's better than that Tegan?
That LRP is better than that. Well, the Tegan's good too. You don't like the Tegan? Oh, you know what? No, I take that back. The Tegan puffs up. Tegan puffed on. They puff. Mine puffed.
Yeah, they've all been fun. Coyotes, though, I mean, that's power.
You're not falling off nearly as bad as it used to. You were falling off a lot worse. I mean, you were still hitting 9/8 even at the very end of the round. Robbie, when you were right behind Corey for a couple laps, you were doing really good. You were following his line.
Yeah, I was following his line, and then that torque rotor. Yeah. Stupid torque rotor. But yeah.
I just found something lost. Body clip.
Up next, race number 1. 21.5 Touring. A main. Race order is Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, Robbie Esplana, Greg Poole.
Huh? That is not right. Oh. Oh, printing. Yeah, I guess she didn't fix that last race.
What?
The last one where I got changed.
Yeah, dude.
No, because I beat out Hector.
Oh,
I got TQ on the last one.
I thought you told me to.
No, no, no. No, I remember I didn't put it back to last fastest laps and times.
Yeah, so I deleted round 2 and then resorted.
Yeah, because I had him like 4 or 5 laps. But not.
Well, yeah, because you're ahead.
Yeah. I know, but
Is it still messed up?
yeah. Because I just have to. I have to swap it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
A main. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, just leave it.
Yeah.
But I know I got it. What's up? You need another one?
This is from the rear. You want to put this on your watch? I'll take it. Are you done? Are you
John
charged up?
Carpenter.
Yep.
All right, guys. It's 9 o'clock now. We're going to go ahead and get her going here around 9:10.
11-9. Twelve one. 57.1. Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio. John Carpenter. 9-6. 11-8. 17-7. 11-9. 9-5. 13-9. 12-4. 11-9. 9-4. 11-6. 9-6. 11-5. 13-2. 11-7. 9-6. 9-9. 12-7. 10 flat. 11-8. 9-8. 10-4. 9-7. 12 flat. 11-9. 11-9. 11-6. 45.8. 11-5. 9-7. 9-7. 13-4. 11-9. 19-5. 11-6. 9-8. 11-5. 9-7. 11-6. 10-1. 10 flat. 13-3. 11-6. 11-5. 11-5. 11-7. Tony Flores. Twenty-one point two. 25.8. 22.7. 23.9. 25.4. 40.1. 28.3. 21.3. 25.2. 24.4. Unknown driver. Twenty-one point four. 25.4. 48.6. 19.8. 26 flat. 25.8. 33.4. 26.9. 28 flat. 36 flat. 20.9. 36.5. 22.4. 25.6.
All right, I got a 5-minute call. No, you're too young to marshal.
Forty point 9. 21.3.
No, I did not. I haven't messed with it since I got it from Randy. However he set it up, I have not changed it. It's currently sitting right over here.
21.9. 51.5. 24.4. 20.5.
All right, guys, race number 1. Let's start making our way out here.
Currently up, race number 1. 21.5 touring. A main. Race order is Robbie Esplana, Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, Greg Poole. Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano. Robbie Esplana.
All right. Robbie, let's go ahead and grid them up. You guys want to go the full 6? Yeah, we'll go 6. You guys got to test your motor temps anyway. All right. I got marshals. I need one more marshal on the far end. No. Need somebody down there. All right. I got Tony's better half over there. All right. I got marshals. I got drivers. I got a grid. We're going to go on the tone.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are Robbie Esplana, Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, and Greg Poole.
It's just that one corner your body's hitting. Sal's corner claims another victim. Note to self, a 90-degree turn at the end of the straightaway. Not ideal.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Robbie Esplana, Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, and Greg Poole. After 3 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Robbie Esplana, Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, and Greg Poole.
All right, guys. 3:30 in, 2:30 to go. Will Robbie lap Hector?
After 4 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Robbie Esplana, Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, and Greg Poole.
At least you're not traction rolling anymore, Hector.
After 5 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Robbie Esplana, Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano, and Greg Poole.
All right, 30 seconds left to go. Fast lap 10.7. Hector throws down 11.2.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hector, Sir Whipsalot, Lozano done. All drivers are finished. Robbie Esplana done.
Here you go, bro.
Daddy, can I switch? Can I switch the races?
Ellie, you're racing.
I know, I can do it. My dad said yes. So?
Yeah, switch it to the next one.
I know.
Wait, Isaiah.
It's right there, Dad.
Up next, race number 2. Spec 4 Tech A main. Race order is Isaiah Esplana, Pete, the Dominator, St. Lawrence, Scott Trentham, Nathan Hauser, Rich I Break a Lot Rider, Tony Flores, Ellie Bosworth, Nathan Hauser. Rich I Break a Lot Rider. Pete, the Dominator, St. Lawrence.
I sauced it. You put your body on right now. As soon as I find it. Yeah, but the oval is eh. What? The turf oval. It's only for the low-seas. Yeah. They're running street stock. It's just it's big and it's weird. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. But it's set up so weird. Yeah. It's like an 8-foot lane all the way around. It's just weird. Oh.
Ellie Bosworth.
Do you have anything thicker than 8K cord?
You can look at those oils. I mean, there's stuff. Yeah.
Isaiah Esplana.
All right, need Scott to check in and Tony to check in.
Scott Trentham.
Go ahead and cross the loop for me, Tony.
Tony Flores.
There we go. All right, guys, straightaways closed. Straightaways closed. Go ahead and grid them up. Isaiah on the point. Pete in the 2. Scott in the 3. Nathan in the 4. Rich in the 5. Tony in the 6. Ellie in the 7. You see the number 7 there, Ellie Billy? Yep. Okay. All right. I got marshals. I got drivers. I got Smia grids. We're going to go on the tone. Oh, we got Carnage. Oh, dude. You got that was luck. That was all luck right there. All right. We got Nathan out front. Pete in the 2, Isaiah in the 3. Your top 3 through the infield they go.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are
Scott's in
Nathan
it.
Hauser, Pete, the Dominator, St. Lawrence, and Isaiah Esplana.
Oh. All right, guys. 140 in. Oh, right here, Robbie. Right in front of you. Oh.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Isaiah Esplana, Scott Trentham, and Pete, the Dominator, St. Lawrence.
Uh-oh. You might be broke, Ellie Belly. Oh, well. Let's put it down. It's okay. We'll fix it. You silly. You want snack for dinner? All right, Isaiah out front. Scott in the 2. Pete in the 3. Rich in the 4. Nathan in 5.
Isaiah Esplana, Scott Trentham, and Pete, the Dominator, St. Lawrence.
Yes. All right, 4 in, 2 to go.
1 second. The top drivers are Isaiah Esplana, Scott Trentham, and Pete, the Dominator, St. Lawrence.
Isaiah, Scott, Pete, Nathan, and Rich. That's the running order.
After 5 minutes 1 second, the top drivers are Isaiah Esplana, Scott Trentham, and Pete, the Dominator, St. Lawrence.
All right, 50 seconds left to go.
David Jones. Go Ellie go.
Davy Jones. You see the goose, Jeff, on today? Why? So what?
10, 9,
All right.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, keep 'em going, keep 'em going.
Isaiah Esplana
Isaiah's done. Pete's
Pete,
done.
the Dominator, St. Lawrence done.
Oh.
Scott Trentham done. All drivers are
All right,
finished.
that's a race. Isaiah's going to
Nathan
take
Hauser
it.
done.
Scott finishes
Rich
in the
Ibrego
2.
Lot
Pete
Rider
in
done.
the 3. Nathan in the 4. Rich in the 5. Do you want to hand out stickers?
I just changed the race.
Nathan, don't go anywhere. This one goes to you. You're my random today.
Yay!
Tony, come up here.
Therefore, I can get that.
Yep, go give it to him. All right, Tony and Nathan, get my random license plates, Pikes Peak RC Arena. Tony and Nathan. Go give it to Tony. Right there, he's walking up right there. Those were my numbers. Yeah, 6 and 4. Yep. What's up next?
GT12? Yes.
That dude's a beast.
Maybe I'll get a quicker lap by trying to follow you instead.
What's wrong, everybody? What's wrong? You don't know? You don't know. What happened? Why?
Broke the bumper. Just like this was down here.
Oh, so that was only Dave? Oh, you're doing so good. Tell you what, your first 2 races you finished. That's all that matters.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even finish.
Yeah, that's what really matters. Most people don't finish them. All right, congrats to all our podium finishers right there in Fortec.
next,
That was pretty
race
close in
number
the
3.
beginning.
GT12.
Congrats
A
to
main.
Tony
Race
and
order
Nate
is
for getting the
Corey, I ain't got time for
random
that.
waffle
Bosworth.
trophies.
George Foy. John Carpenter. Scott Trentham.
Ooh, is that Davey?
Rich I Break a Lot Rider.
Was that Davey? Let me add Davey to this real quick. Ellie, you want to start this race, Ellie? All right.
John Carpenter.
Where'd Davey go? There's Davey. All right, I don't see you. Davey, go ahead. Pass through again, Davey. Davey's already passing through. Oh, I cannot. Try. Let me get my schedule back up. Drivers.
George Foy. Scott Trentham.
Corey, I can't add him to this, can I? How do I do that? Switch class to GT12? Because we're in the mains already. Davey. Okay. Got that cool Japanese watercolor style mountain range with the Pikes Peak RC Arena license plate. Your daddy's got to add.
Rich I break a lot rider.
Can I?
You'll press the start button.
Oh yeah.
But wait till your dad's done trimming body.
I know.
Jeff, you gonna build a GT12?
I want to now.
Hector, now we're waiting on Hector. Ken's got one. Everybody's pretty much on every. There's a lot of people that got GT12.
Hold on, I gotta put transponder in here.
Yeah, I gotta sell off a couple off-roaders, and then I'll probably do that.
What are you doing?
Excuse me.
Like 5.
Hector Lozano. Please let me out.
Well, as Corey adds, I got it. As you add his that baby.
Shit, how the hell did I do that?
What's the password?
Yeah, it says his name's already in there. And it wouldn't let me scroll this. It wouldn't let me put his.
There we go.
Rich I break a lot rider.
I don't know. I tried to do before and it wouldn't let me, but
All right, need everybody to check in again. Everybody check in again. And then straight, well, let Corey do a lap.
Scott
There is
Trentham.
Davey. So, Davey, you are in, my friend. There's Davey.
John Carpenter. George
Dave
Foy.
Jones,
David Jones.
along with Mike Jones. All right, Corey's checking in right there in the Isaiah Special Chassis.
Corey I ain't got time for that, Bosworth.
Okie dokie. Straightaway is closed. Straightaway is closed. Go ahead, line her up. Corey in the 1, George in the 2, John in the 3. These three been battling it out. Scott coming in at the 4, Rich in the 5, Davey in the 6. All right, get everybody lined up. All right, Davey in the back. You good back there playing caboose? All right, Isaiah, you ready? Everybody ready? All right. We are going on the tone in lesson 5. And here we go. GT12 kicking off. Corey leading the way, followed by George and John. They start breaking away from the pack. George goes super wide. Wide again. John gets by him. John took advantage of the wideness. All right, Corey out in the lead. George and John battling it out. That white, oh, and he flips. All right, go, 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 go. And here comes Scott to play. Good sportsmanship right there with John. They both bump into it with each other. Ooh, that was your fault there. All right. George, John, and Scott. John moves up to the 2. George in the 3. Scott in the 4. Scott's out there to play
Have 5
too.
minutes left. The top drivers are Corey I ain't got
Davey,
time
that
for that.
car's driving
Bosworth,
pretty good,
John
Davey.
Carpenter, and George Foy.
Car's driving a lot better. There we go. Corey out there with 11.7. That's the hot lap. John with 11.9. George 12.0. Scott 13.0. Davey 13.8. Rich back out in the pits. Yeah. Again? That's crazy. So this time pour glue. Take that apart. Pour glue. I'm done. Oh no. I'm not saying come back out in the race. I'm talking later on in that shock tower. Just pour glue down in there and retap it. All right, Corey, John, and George. John and George battling it out. Scott's right there too.
After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are Corey I ain't got time for that. Bosworth, John Carpenter, and George Foy.
Scott, are you down a lap? Okay. All right, GT12. I talked to Corey about this. I think we'll do one more Tuesday of free. I think that'll be for, what is it, for, not GT12, for, I forgot which one it was. It was either LMH or, no, it was LMH. We're going to extend out one more time. Oop, easy there. Oh, Davey in the, all right, there you go. This is a momentum game. Maintaining momentum. 3 minutes to go.
The top drivers are Corey I ain't got time for that. Bosworth, John Carpenter, and George Foy.
Ooh, Scott taps. John and George battling it out. Again, welcome our new driver out there, Tony. Hope to see him more and more. You'll get better, believe me. We all started somewhere. Oops. I ripped that sticker. All right, Corey, John, George, Scott in the 4, Davey in the 5. Ellie, do you got the phone? You good? No? You don't have the phone? Okay. Never mind. That's good.
2 minutes left. The top drivers are Corey I ain't got time for that. Bosworth, John Carpenter, and George Foy.
All right, Corey, John, George. John and George still battling it out. Corey still has that hot lap, 11.7. John, 11.9. George, 11.9. John's got the fast one over George, though. Scott, 13.0. Davey, 12.9. Davey faster than Scott. There you go. Davey's still getting used to that car. Looks like that car's driving well, Scott. I don't know. John, what body is that? It's an Aries?
1 minute left.
Is that the same one
The
like
top
what? Oh,
drivers
that
are
is the
Corey
same
I
one
ain't got
Isaiah
time
has.
for that. Bosworth, John
It's
Carpenter,
an
and
Isaiah
George
body.
Foy.
You still have your body. It's right over here, buddy. Oh, it's in the case. Huh? You like your Lamborghini better? Nathan fell asleep over there. Nathan's tired. All right, Corey's still out in the lead. Still with that hot lap with 29 seconds to go.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. George Foy done. Corey, I ain't got time for that. Bosworth done. Scott Trantham done. David Jones done. All drivers are finished. John Carpenter done.
Corey, you got your phone?
Of course, gonna wait.
Corey says first.
Corey, please.
Who you? Oh, I gotta pick one? George. Hey, I got the right one. A little bit of white.
Thank you.
John, you want me to hold it?
No, I could take a picture. Hold on, Bobby. I'm gonna take a picture.
And Robbie takes one also.
No, you and me.
Yeah, you and Robbie. All right. 1, 2, and 3. All right, take picture. One more. Sorry, the ink can be so big. We're doing like green.
Yeah, one mistake you guys was like,
Yeah, that one mistake that was right over there. That's what I was like. All you guys were together, and I was like, oh, they're that way.
I was like, hopefully lap traffic is Corey.
Who got turd? George got turd.
We got Luke's a couple times. You can see John the whole time.
That's good when you can keep John right there where it starts. So.
Daddy, can I change? Wait, is it over?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Change to the next race.
Okay.
We're gonna have a good race before it. Kind of like collided and Corey tagged it.
That's not mine.
No, that's not mine.
Up next, race number 4. LMH 25.5. A main. Race order is George Foy, Robbie Esplana, Jeff Harless, David Jones.
That's the 25 you hit straight ones. So I was like, get 2 sets of straight ones.
Because I think this is like the perfect speed.
What?
25.5.
Yeah, that's good.
Just, it's better than what I expected. So I should say it's faster than what I expected. What do you think of these bodies? Do they have good downforce?
George Foy. Robbie Esplana, Jeff Harless.
All right, Davey, how we looking? You out? Okay. You got the middle there, John? All right. George on the point. George is your TQ. Robbie in the 2. Jeff in the 3. All right. I got marshals. I got drivers. I got a grid. What? LMH 25.5. Hold on. It don't matter. I'll fix it when you guys race. It is set for 5 minutes, so let's change that to 6. All right. We're gonna go. I got marshals. I got Marshall. I got Scott out there. I got drivers. I got a grid. We're gonna go on the tone. Oh. Oh. Go, go, go. Oh. You guys just ran out of room there.
After 1 minute left, the top drivers are George Foy, Robbie Esplana, and Jeff Harless. After 2 minutes left, the top drivers are George Foy, Jeff Harless, and Robbie Esplana.
If you put like the X-ray, extra stiff servo saver on there, it'll stop that from ever happening.
Oh, and that's plastic too. I don't even know why that's on there.
All right. George out front. Ooh, George gets it wrong. Here comes Robbie. Only a lap down, though.
After 3 minutes left, the top drivers are George Foy, Robbie Esplana, and Jeff Harless. 2
After
minutes
4 minutes.
left. The top drivers are George Foy, Robbie Esplana, and Jeff Harless.
It's all right. 1:25 left to go. All right.
1 minute 5
5
minutes 1
in, 1 to
second.
go.
The top drivers are George Foy, Robbie Esplana, and Jeff Harless.
Ellie Belly, you gotta hand out stickers. Yeah. I don't know. Yes. Yes. Oh, right here. Or are you out of here? No, nobody. Okay.
Yeah. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, keep 'em going, keep 'em going.
George Foy done.
All right, George is going to
drivers
take
are
it. Robbie in the
finished.
2, Jeff in
Robbie
the 3.
Esplana done. Up next, race number 5. 13.5 pan car. A main.
Fast lap.
Race order is
11-4.
Corey, I ain't got time for that, Bosworth.
George.
Sal,
11-4.
Throttle Master,
You had
DeFazio.
11-6.
Robbie Esplana.
Stickers? Do y'all have stickers? Got stickers?
Is that your car, Robbie? That smells hot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
TCM.
Currently up, race number 5. 13.5 pan car. A main. Race order is Corey, I ain't got time for that, Bosworth. Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio. Robbie Esplana. Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio. Corey, I ain't got time for that, Bosworth.
Mommy need to check in. No. George, how's your ankle?
Huh?
How's your ankle?
It's feeling okay.
Okay.
Look at that smoke.
Bobby, do we need to say the driver?
No. You don't need to say drivers. We just go.
What?
You're announcing?
No. Yes. Well, I'm gonna let you announce after I hit the start race button.
Robbie Esplana.
Daddy, do we need to check in? No. Do we line up actually? Okay. Are you ready? Do we need marshals?
No marshal race. No crashing. The professionals there.
On the tone. Less than 5.
Closer? Closer, Robbie?
Do we need to?
Alright.
On a tone at less than 5.
On a tone less than 5.
Heck yeah.
You can
Turn rule. Alright.
You could say I need to check in and
Well, I know that, but they're already checked in. There already races going. All I need to say is who's in place.
okay.
But I'm not gonna say that.
You could say I don't know. You could switch the races.
Nah.
I never see your parents before.
After 1 minute,
My dad
the top drivers are Corey, I ain't got time for that, Bosworth, Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio, and Robbie Esplana.
I usually ride with Isaiah because he lives in my neighborhood, so usually go to racing here with him.
Oh, okay.
Are you racing on Sunday?
Yes.
I'm racing on Sunday too.
I think I am racing on Sunday because it's oval.
David Jones. Bye Ellie, have a great night.
It was Davey.
Yes, there you go. I thought that was Mike Jones. That's his son. Mike Jones. That David Jones' son. DQ. That was DQ.
After 2 minutes, the top drivers are Corey, I ain't got time for
Bye,
that, Bosworth,
Davey.
Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio, and
Bye-bye.
Robbie Esplana.
Here, I got it.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you. Okay. Look at that. All the look all the comments that I Mr. Dave Jones and Kurt and Sean and Tyler.
5 minutes left. The top drivers are Corey I Ain't Got Time for That, Bosworth, Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio, and Robbie Esplana.
40, 31 to go. To go.
4 minutes 1 second. The top drivers are Corey I Ain't Got Time for That, Bosworth, Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio, and Robbie Esplana.
Should be extra points for that. Yeah.
3 minutes 5 minutes 1 second. The top drivers are Corey I Ain't Got Time for That, Bosworth, Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio, and Robbie Esplana.
See? He didn't have the Sal talent where he could shoot up through there. Uh-oh, that'll sound good.
Lap times.
I know somebody. This one side.
My dad has.
Turn the left rear off. Give me some.
2 minutes left. After 6 minutes 2 seconds,
90,
the top drivers are Corey I Ain't Got Time for That, Bosworth, Sal, Throttle
46.
Master, DeFazio, and Robbie Esplana.
Sal has 50.275. Bobby has 11.202. I think.
Tapped it back.
1 minute left. After 7 minutes 2 seconds, the top drivers are Corey I Ain't Got Time for That, Bosworth, Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio, and Robbie Esplana.
How are you? You love me. How much I love you. 25 seconds to go. Uh, 17.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sal, Throttle Master, DeFazio done. Corey, I ain't got time for that. Bosworth done. All drivers are finished. Robbie Esplana done.
Did somebody get a TQ? Did somebody get a TQ?
Yeah, your daddy gets a TQ. Hey, I hit a 9.6 again.
Sal hit a 9.4.
Jesus Christ, Sal.
A TQ.
You're running Hobby Wing now?
You're good at
I
it.
like you too. I thought you were with me, man, running R1.
Who's get third? Get third.
Okay.
Get third. Sal?
Robbie.
Oh, Robbie. Robbie.
Where'd my phone go? Kiddo?
I don't know.
Something on the body, Sal. I don't know if that got picked up.
Okay.
What the hell is that?
Oh, it says body.
Yeah. No, so it came off the. It was there. The body got jammed. And it snapped.
Is it over, Daddy?
Well, my chassis's not jagging anymore. That's a good thing.
I just need to be carried.
That's what happens when I don't run a fan.
Good run, Corey.
Yep, thank you. Yeah, I put those blacks back in.
Did you? Yes. On the the side springs.
Yes,
Oh, that's what I'm running.
more rear grip.
I'm running blacks.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. Appreciate it.
Like it was a song or something.
Taylor Swift.
Daddy, I really want to race. No, I don't want it to be over.
Outside of pink.
If you say I love you, you love me, how much I. You don't need to say thank everyone for coming, okay?
First race.
I'm gonna keep that sticker. I don't want it to be over. I don't like it when it's be over. It's the
See you,
worst.
John.